your path. I don't know about you, but I will always put my trust in him. Whatever the will of the Lord is, trust his way. Whatever the will of the Lord is, trust his way. Whatever the will of the Lord is, trust his way. Exercise your faith. Know that the end of the day has the final say. Whatever the will of the Lord is, trust his way. Whatever the will of the Lord is, trust his way. Whatever the will of the Lord is, trust his way. Exercise your faith. Know at the end of the day has the final say. As I release my plans and my fears, Lord, take control. I completely yield. I surrender. I can't make it on my own. Not my will, Lord, but your will be done. Whatever the will of the Lord is, trust his way. Whatever the will of the Lord is, trust his way. Whatever the will of the Lord is, trust his way. Exercise your faith. Know at the end of the day has the final say. Whatever the will of the Lord is, trust his way. Oh, whatever the will of the Lord is, trust his way. Whatever the will of the Lord is, trust his way. Exercise your faith. Know at the end of the day has the final say. I will trust you in all of your ways. Lord, help me keep the faith. Order my steps, give me strength to stand. 'Cause I know for my life you have a master plan. You see, some may trust in horses, and some will trust in chariots. But I choose to trust in the name of the Lord. I'm gonna put all of my trust in him. His way. Trust his way. His way. Trust his way. Nobody can do it like my Lord. Trust his way. Trust his way. I will trust his way. I will trust his way. Trust his way. Trust his way. Whatever your will for my life, I'm gonna exercise my faith and trust in you. Trust his way. Oh, trust his way. Come on. When you don't understand, you gotta trust him. 'Cause he has a master plan. Through every rise, through every fall, I trust you, Lord, with my all and all. Lord, trust his way. I've got to trust you and depend on you. You never left me alone. So I'm gonna trust you, just like I always do. Lord, I gotta trust your way. I said, order my steps and lead the way. I said, trust his way. Oh, yeah.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. That was Vicky Ferry. Yeah, she's gonna be coming on and chopping up with Queen Alicia real soon. Whatever the will of the Lord is. Yeah. I like that song. I like that song. Well, tonight is another night that I would love to say thank you so much for coming in the room and once again chopping it up with Queen Alicia. Tonight we have Mr. Derrick Huggins that's going to be talking to us in regards to his award show that he has coming on that's going to be coming up. So we're going to chop it up with him just a little bit, just a little bit. So I'm asking if you would be so kind as to share with two people, only two. That's not that much, you know. So share with two people. All right. Thank you so much once again for chopping it up with Queen Alicia.
I was introduced to this at a real young age. Why so much desire if it ain't for me? Oh, sometimes it feel like torture watching these award shows. Every year I'm praying they save a seat for me. No, I ain't no hater. I'll congratulate ya. But can I have a minute to show you what I'm made of? Is this so much I'm asking? If it depends on talent, told him my life I had it. When will I get a stab at it? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. All I keep hearing is no, 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 no. When will I get my yes? Will I get my yes? When will I get my yes? Will I get my yes? You only get a one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. All of my creators know when you awaken from your dreams, seems only you believe. I know you got your mama.
Chopping it up with Queen Alicia, where every word is clear and true. From deep talks and open dialogue, join the conversation. Explore real relationships and pass the growth.
Yeah, chop it up with Alicia, the queen. This is the podcast you know you're gonna need, hun. Chop it up with Alicia J today. She's dropping the nuggets, the stuff you really wanna say on relationships, the situationships, married or single, and even if you wanna mingle. Chop it up with Alicia, the queen. Today, yeah.
Discuss hot topics and let your knowledge flow.
The queen. Let's chop it up.
Entertainment and yes and no mix. Every conversation is the good connect that makes.
Let's chop it up.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another exciting edition of Chopping Up with Queen Alicia. I am your host, Queen Alicia, and tonight we're watching another episode of The Voice Behind the Mic, where we introduce you to the leaders, visionaries, and influencers who are making a lasting impact in the music and entertainment industry. Tonight's guest is a respected media executive, entrepreneur, author, promoter, and industry strategist. He is the founder of the CEO of all things Avidity and the visionary behind the Avidity Gospel Music Awards, an organization dedicated to recognizing excellence while creating opportunities for independent artists and industry professionals. He is also known for his work in radio, television, artist development, and education, helping others build successful careers in entertainment. His passion for excellence has led him to establish multiple initiatives under the Avidity brand, including artist promotion, media, and educational platforms that continue to inspire and equip creatives across the country. Through his leadership, he has become a respected voice in the industry, committed to empowering others and celebrating those who are making a difference. Tonight, we will talk about some of the things, and we're going to have him back here today because he's busy. And so our time is not going to be that long with him, but we will discuss some of the vision behind all things Avidity, the purpose of Avidity Gospel Music Awards, supporting and developing independent artists, and building a successful brand in today's music industry, leadership, entrepreneurship, and what's next for the Avidity movement. Family, grab your notebooks, share this live with your friends. Thanks for sharing in advance. And fellow artists, share it with them and get ready for a powerful, insightful conversation. Please help me welcome to the Chopping Up with Queen Alicia, the voice behind the mic tonight, Mr. Derrick Huggins. Hello.
Hey, hey, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Listen, I am great.
That's
Happy to be
awesome.
here. Thanks for having me on.
No, no problem. Thank you so much for being here. Everyone has told me so much about you and that I should come to your award show. So,
What? Well, that's awesome. That's
yeah,
good to know.
yeah, I might not be there this year, but
Okay.
I'm gonna get right into it.
All right. Let's
So,
go.
I know you are a busy, busy, busy man. How
Yeah.
I bumped into you
Mm-hmm.
again was because someone said something about gatekeepers, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm an artist as well, so, and I'm an advocate too for the independent
Mm.
artists. And so I was like, wait a minute, come back, we got to talk about this, because there's a lot of people that's really, really having that idea, that, and Bobby Parker was on, prior to that, so he did say,
Oh,
yeah, they are.
nice. Nice. Yep. Yep.
Right. But I wanted to talk to you because you have your head in so many different avenues. Um, Tell me, I mean, do you think that there are gatekeepers that are holding us artists back?
There are definitely gatekeepers. So there's a couple things I want to kind of divide the gatekeepers though into two lanes. I'm going to establish the context of this conversation around the fact that gatekeeping to an extent is necessary. I think what's happened is gatekeeping has gotten out of hand.
Hmm.
So you have two types of gatekeeping, one of which I endorse and one of which I do not endorse. So let's start at just that level. Okay, so let's start with what I do endorse. Everybody's a gatekeeper of something. You're a gatekeeper of your home. If you are a business owner, you gatekeep your business, right? You keep certain things out. You want certain things to come in, right?
That's right.
If you are a supervisor on your corporate job, if you are a parent, you gatekeep what your children are getting into or not, what the activities they participate in school. So we do. So gatekeeping is a necessary function of life. So let me start there. That kind of gatekeeping I endorse. The gatekeeping I do not endorse is like we pointed out, are when you have, let's say, like a person like myself says, well, I'm going to banish this artist just because I feel like they should not be in the space,
Hmm.
not for any real formidable reason, just because they are not who is in my cool kids club,
Hmm.
and therefore I'm going to keep them out, or because I favor another set of artists over you, not because your music isn't good, not because
Mhm.
your artwork isn't good, not because you haven't spent the money and made the investments in your career that you should be making as an artist, but just simply because you are not in my cool kids club and therefore I'm
Mhm.
keeping you out.
Mhm.
That's the kind of gatekeeping I do not endorse. So I wanted to just level set the conversation and start it there so that people understand when I speak on gatekeeping, I'm referencing the bad kind of gatekeeping and
Mhm.
not the good kind.
That's right. That's right. And I mean, if we want to be real about it, I mean, is that the last kind of gatekeeping? Is that really what God wants?
No,
No.
he doesn't want it. But I always tell people. So again, you'll and I'll definitely have to come on when I have more time to really kind of delve into this. But I'm gonna say this. Here's the thing. What I explained to another artist last night, who's a friend of mine, I said, listen, I need you to understand that the platforms that you are pissed off. I hope I can say that on here. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't know how much liberty I had. The platforms that you're pissed off about, these are man-made systems. Okay, and why am I saying that?
Mhm.
Because they are not run by God, they're run
That's
by
right.
men and women.
That's right.
Okay? So we have to make sure, even if they're coming in the name of God or gospel or inspirational or any of the sort, religious, it is based and run by people who are individual men and women, right? And they form a collective, and then they decide who will come on, who will not come on, etc. Okay. So with that being said, um, I don't think that God appreciates it, but I also think that God is essentially just letting us do what we do as human creation. What we as humans have to figure out is, if I'm trying to invade a space, or if I'm trying to, matriculate myself to a certain space, platform, or whatever, what are the criterion to get into that space, right? And then the first thing I would say, and I'm gonna let me say this too, because this is important. Where you and I met on this post, it's a respected dear friend of mine who's a radio professional. She and I are true friends in real
That's
life.
right.
Not I'm not just saying like the funny
No.
talk. We're
Right.
for real friends.
Right.
But I do disagree with her on some things
Yeah.
about gatekeeping, right? And I think sometimes our radio friends and others that are in the industry tend to take an above it all, kind of what I call a macro view, a much wider view that said, I'm gonna go a micro view that says, oh well, independent artists have to understand you have to build a demand. Well, I've been working with independent artists, Alicia, for 28 years. I can tell you the artists that I have worked with are top notch. I
Yeah.
don't play, and I
Yeah.
am very, very. Ask any artist that's working with me; they'll tell you I'm very blunt. If it's
Yeah.
trash, I'm going to tell them it's trash. If it's
Right.
great, I'm going to
That's
tell them it's
me.
great. Right? If it's done well, I'm going to tell them it's done well. So I'm not working with no, whatever. I'm
Right.
working with top notch. I've watched these people spend the money they need to spend on a proper licensed, authorized radio promoter who has real radio connections. I have watched them, go into the studio with top-notch producers. All their stuff is top-notch and still not get radio airplay. That's what's frustrating for me and them, because everything you all told us to do as the
Yes.
gatekeepers, we've done. But
Yes.
yet you've still found a way to keep us out. So we
Right.
got to start telling the truth. And one
Yes.
of the things that I have pissed off a lot of people, a lot of my counterparts and colleagues and other executives, is because I am that guy that does not mind calling it out, telling it like it is. I'm going to do it professionally, but I'm
Yes.
still going to do it, right?
Right.
And I'm not afraid to challenge any of them.
That's
I
right.
respect them all, and some of them have been in the industry longer than I have. But at the end of the day, I don't feel that tenure automatically makes you above someone.
That's right.
I think that you have to balance that with real, true industry knowledge, professional accolade and accomplishment, along with a concern. And my problem is, I think a lot of the gatekeepers that we're referencing, I don't feel that they are truly concerned. They say they're concerned, but I don't think that they are truly concerned with the plight of the independent artists.
Well, you're right. And you know what? Guess what, y'all that's listening? I have met my match. All y'all always got so much to say with Queen Alicia when I'm like flipping sometime. But I tell you, this comes from me being just that artist, when I was growing up and seeing things and seeing how they put other people in front of me. And I'm like, they don't have the talent. They not gifted, but it will happen. So we have to not minimize it. We have to see it for what it is. It's like they say, call a thing a thing. It is what it is.
I do want to say something though, it's important about what you just said, because I do think we have to also have a much far-reaching conversation when we say things like, I'm a better artist, I'm a better singer, I'm a better whatever. I always tell any artist that I work with professionally, I always say this: hard work beats talent
Yeah.
when talent won't work. So watch this. There are moments where your talent will work. Then there are other moments where your talent will not work. It's the hard work that will outwork the talent. So, as an independent artist, my cautionary tale to them is, don't become so reliant on the talent that you do not cultivate the hard work, because the moments that the hard work is needed in place of the talent, you're going to be empty. You're going to come up short, right? And so the point here is, I do understand to a degree what my colleague Tracy Morgan was saying when she talked about building a big enough demand. I do agree with that to a degree, in terms of, yes, you do have to become so undeniable. Like, and I think you do that through a lot of professional acumen, right? Like whether that's, topping the iTunes chart. Shout out to my clients, the Exciting Holy Sons, who
Right.
have been #1 on the iTunes Christian album charts for
Well,
7
that's
days straight, which is
awesome.
a feat, beating out Lauren Daigle, CC Winans, Bethel Music, Maverick City, and everybody else on that chart. So shout out to them. But this is the point that they've learned. I had a 3-hour conference call with them today because we were talking about they just can't believe it. And I'm making a very big announcement tomorrow about them as well. So stay tuned for that. But the point is, they are now seeing what I mean when I say hard work will be talent when talent won't work. They are not generally considered by the class of gospel quartets as the best group, but they're the best selling group. And
The
not only
hard work.
that, yes, not only that, they are the only black quartet in iTunes history to top that chart.
Look at
The
that.
only one. Not Lee Williams, not Rance Allen, not the Williams brothers, not Lisa Knowles Smith and the Brown Singers. No other black quartet has done that except them. And what's my point? My point is, if you guys will work hard, I gave them a strategy, I gave them a plan. They executed the strategy and plan to perfection, and now here we are. And we are 7 days and counting, still counting, at #1. And we're getting ready to make a significant announcement tomorrow about another achievement. And so the point here is, as an artist, continue to position yourselves in winning situations so that when your talent is not considered, they'll have to consider their metric of industry accolade. You cannot deny a #1 iTunes album because you beat out your favorites that are on the same chart that my guys are beating them and have been for 7 days. You can't deny that. You see?
Right.
And so that's what we have to do. So go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but don't you think too, it all has to do with too, that I'm not chasing the charts. I'm chasing God. I think a lot of times that we're so into I'm chasing charts until we just like, but when we chase God, God is going to do the elevating. He's going to push us up.
Okay, now, Alicia, you definitely have met your match because I'm gonna challenge point for point. Let's start here. My God don't have to be chased. He lives in me, so I don't have to chase him anywhere. He's already here.
No, I know that, but
I know. No, just hear me out. Hear me out. I promise if you hear me out, I think you're gonna be like, okay, I think you'll come to my side.
Okay, go.
I don't have to chase God because my relationship with God is vertical. That means it's between He and I. Okay, so He and I already have that established.
Yes.
But again, we are working inside of man's ecosystem, Alicia. We're talking about the music industry. God has nothing to do. I know that sounds so bad to say, but I need y'all who are intellectual enough to follow where I'm going. You have to be intellectually curious to be able to receive this conversation that I'm having with you. But if you do, it will change your life, and you will get beyond a lot of the roadblocks that a lot of you have out there. So my point here is, God is the foundational premise of why I do gospel music, and I want to minister to all of the people. But let's be very clear. Once you release music commercially, you have entered the Rubicon of the industry, which is man-made, man-governed, man-manipulated, man-run. Okay? So that's just the truth. And so the thing is, it's not about chasing the charts, but it's about understanding that charting in a man-made system is the criteria that man judges you by. So no, God says you are everything. You're the apple of his eye, but God ain't running iTunes.
That's right. That's good.
Come on, somebody.
No, that's good.
God ain't running Billboard.
I want to throw a shoe right now. That's good.
I'm just saying. So I'm here. So that's what I think people appreciate about me, Alicia, is that I feel like I'm a perfect blend between a spiritualist who understands the spiritual things of God, but at the same time, I'm a realist. And I know I live in a real world. I live in a man-driven society, and I think we need to have more balance and bring an equilibrium to these discussions so that people stop being so lofty. Because here's my thing. You want a moral victory and say that you closer to God and you ain't chasing charts? Great. Then don't complain about gatekeeping then. Because if it ain't about the charts, you shouldn't even be talking. Okay.
Now I should throw a shoe at you.
TED Talks. This has been my TED Talks for tonight.
My gosh. All right, so listen. Tell us, like, because you'll tell me when we're over, all right?
Okay,
because we're on your time.
Yeah.
But so tell me, when did you start doing the awards? Like
Yeah.
what when did it come? Tell us.
Yeah. So ironically, I was at. I remember this very vividly. It's like it yesterday. It was 2009. I was at the Stellar Awards, in Nashville. It was at the Grand Ole Opry, and I remember it was my very first Stellar Awards, and I was sitting way up in the nosebleed. I was literally in the top corner in the corner seat at the very back. There was nothing behind me but the wall. That's how far up in the nosebleed I was. Okay. Um, that particular year, I remember the hosts were, if I'm not mistaken, it was Donnie McClurkin, Dorinda Clark Cole, and Kirk Franklin, I believe, were the hosts that year. And I remember and if anybody's ever been to an award show taping or television production taping, you know that we have those breaks in between because they're resetting the stage and,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. So while that was going on, I remember sitting there thinking I was enjoying the show, but I was disappointed that I was not seeing enough independent artists, or none actually, independent artists represented on the stellar stage. And I remember thinking at the time, man, it's a shame because I know so many artists, they're amazing. Like all they need is a shot, and a stage like the Stellars can literally launch them into, the stratosphere. I heard God say, "You do it," and it was so laughable that I literally laughed out loud. And let me tell you what was funny. There were people sitting next to me. This lady right next to me looking at me like, "What is wrong with this nigga? Like he is going like nuts," because it was such a laughable thought. I'm like, I know you ain't. I'm like, God, I wouldn't know the first thing to do on starting an award show, and I dismissed it out of hand. Got home from Nashville, got back to Dallas, which is where I live, and just went on about my life. And so that was 2009. Fast forward to about 2015. Coming into 2015 that year, I remember. No, I'm sorry. Fast forward to 2014. No, 2015. That was right. That's right. I come into, and so I hear guys say, "I was serious about you starting that award show." Like he ain't said nothing to me from 2009 all the way to 2015. I thought I made it. I thought I was
No, he
good.
let you thought about it. You ain't think about it.
Yeah. And so he said, "I want you to do." He said, "So I want you." So what I did was I got on. Shout out to Carmina Barnett, um, who is a nationally syndicated radio host, Inspirations with Carmina. But back then, she was a program director at Heaven 97 KHVN in Dallas. And I called her up and I said, "Hey, Carmina, I'm trying to start this award show. Here's what it's about. It's about independent artists, and I need some help because you're connected in the city. Let's start it locally, and then gradually spread it out over the country." And so she did. She signed on. She got a couple friends. We all went out, and we put together the first show that launched on January, I believe it was January 30th of 2016,
Oh wow.
and the rest is history. And so here we are, getting ready to celebrate our 11th year. This coming up
Wow.
November. The 10th anniversary was last year in November, and we had as our hosts, we had comedian and actress Kim Coles from Living Single was one of our co-hosts.
I saw that.
As well as
I did see
comedian actor Jonathan Slocum, and gospel artist Rudy Currents. Those were our three hosts last year, and we taped
Mm-hmm.
it, and it's great. And y'all be seeing some information soon about that show when it's going to be airing on television. And so, anyway, we've done some great things, but we still got a lot more to do. And so now we're in the process of shopping this to the networks. We're looking at OWN. We're shopping it to BET. We're shopping it to TV One. We're shopping it to Bounce. We're shopping it to Fox Soul. Like pretty much anyone that will give us a chance, we're making deals. So if y'all watching, call me, okay? We're trying to get it done. All right? So, but the point is, I knew there was a need there, to your point, because there was a lot of gatekeeping going on. Now, it's gotten a lot better over the last 11 years, but it's still not where it should be, in my opinion. And so
Mm-hmm.
here we are.
My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. So, what is the submission
Oh, yeah.
process for
That's a great
artists?
question. So usually, it just depends on what day we're going to do the show that year. But first of all, if y'all go to our website at aviditygospelawards.com, aviditygospelawards.com, you can go on our About tab, and then there's a whole thing that tells our process, what the voting dates are, what the rounds are. But essentially, in a nutshell, what happens is I started a organization called the Avidity Recording Academy, and it's a consortium for independent artists primarily, but not only the artists, also other creatives. If you're a publicist, if you're a graphic designer, if you're a producer, if you're an engineer, it's for you too. And our primary focus are it centers on two things: education, because I'm a big proponent of educating
Mhm.
artists, because I think there are too many artists out in the space that don't understand the currency and the flow of the industry,
Mhm.
and that's why they're frustrated, because they are doing things out of
Mhm.
sequence, out of turn, out of order, and then they're frustrated. They
That's
don't know the
right.
industry. Okay, so we educate. The
Mhm.
second thing we do is we advocate. So it's about advocacy to the bigger powers that be. Like, part of the things that we're looking to do is talk to the Grammys about having something as like a sister shoot, whether it be Avidity, become like a partner to the Grammys for independence and really recognize them. Because let's be real,
Mm.
a lot of the independents are not going to be able to compete with the bigger global
That's right.
stars. So I want to see if we
That's
can
right.
partner somehow and use
Right.
that as an opportunity to create another
Mhm.
ecosystem for the independent artists where it's credible, reputable, and all the things. Okay, so that's the second thing we do.
Mhm.
The third thing we do,
That's right.
we are about mobilization to action. My thing to independent artists is you guys are the majority. You're the silent majority. And what that means is there are a lot more of you than there are of them, but we have to learn how to consolidate power. We have to learn how to collaborate effectively, and we have to learn how to mobilize all of that energy into a solid, um, followable, trackable movement, so that the rest of the industry
Mhm.
sees that we're here to slay and not here to play. And that's what the Avidity Recording
Right.
Academy does. So I said all that to say this: that body governs the Avidity Gospel Music Awards. And what we do is we say, okay, if you are a member of our academy, when it's time for, we have a nomination submission period. Once we do that, as a member of ARA, which is what we also call it,
Mhm.
you can join, and then you can submit suggestions for nomination. And only ARA members can do it. So that's the unique
Wow.
thing. No
Yeah.
public, no. Our members decide, along with our executive
Mhm.
committee, who's going to make the ballot. Just like, matter of fact, tomorrow we announce our ballot for this upcoming show, who made that ballot. And that's the first round. The first round is open to public. Okay. The public will vote. After that round is over, it will determine who goes on to the second round. We'll release the second round ballot, and then only our members can vote.
Oh, wow.
See, so
Oh,
you
I
have to
like
be a
that.
member of the organization, and then and then after that voting, we narrow it down to the top six candidates after those rounds of voting, and at that point, we make our announcement. This year, our announcement is going to happen on, I believe it's Tuesday, August the 4th, at 7:30 p.m. I'm sorry, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to go live virtually, and we're going to announce who the official nominees are. And then there's one final round that happens after that. After the nominees are announced, that final voting will determine who the winners of the categories will be. And that's pretty much how it works. So if you're an artist wanting to be considered for one of our artist categories, then you have to have a little bit more substantial accomplishment behind your belt. Even as an independent, you got to be charting on some charts. They
Mhm.
don't have to necessarily be media based or Billboard. They can be DRT. They can be gospel station charts. They can be
Okay.
the gospel top 40 charts. They can be the Avidity charts, which we are bringing back this year.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
Avidity gospel charts, which are airplay charts as
Mhm.
well. And so, as long as you're charting on any of those charts, we can consider you for those categories. If you do not meet that criteria, you still can qualify for other awards like female vocalist of the year,
Okay.
male artist of the year, male vocalist of the year, which does not require a professional industry designation. If you're just a beautiful psalmist or
Mhm.
singer, you can qualify for that. So there are other awards too, but that's in a nutshell how we do it.
See, I'm glad that I'm having this because literally this needs to happen because I had a couple of other award shows on too,
Hmm.
the CEOs, because each year you think there's new artists coming in.
Hmm. Hmm.
So even when I went onto your platform for you to explain everything the way you explained it, now I'm like, okay, now I
Yeah.
get it.
Here's the thing, because we want to legitimize the process, and this is no shade to any of my counterparts that do independent awards. The reason why I think a lot of the other independent award shows don't really get noticed is because I don't think there's enough care in the selection process, both in terms of who's nominated and who performs on their stages. It's
Mhm.
so important that we understand. People always say, "Oh, I love Derrick Huggins. He's an independent artist champion." I said, "Correction. I am an independent artist champion of independent artists who understand quality music, quality production, investment, both financial and sweat equity. You have to understand those things. And so when you see you'll see tomorrow when we release our ballot, you'll see it's very quality individuals up
Wow.
and down that ballot because we're very careful about who we platform. Because, and this is where I may be called a gatekeeper, and that's fine because again,
Right.
remember, there is a part of gatekeeping we do have to do. You
Right.
can't be Uncle Bocephus and the
No.
Chitlinaires and think you're going to get on my show. It's not going to
Mhm.
happen. Right?
Mhm.
And why is that? Because remember what we're trying to do. We can't get
Mhm.
lost in the sauce here. The point is we need the powers that be, especially those who will do brand endorsements, brand integrations to integrate with our
Mhm.
show.
That's
We
right.
have to put on our stage a quality product.
That's
Okay?
nice.
Got to do that. So I
Yep.
just want to make sure I'm clear about that. So yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. No,
And I'm
you.
gonna be generous and give you 15, 20 more minutes. How you go ahead. Do what you gotta do.
No, but no, you're making sense.
Yeah.
You're making a lot of sense. And this is the thing about that's why you have people that don't go to certain award
Mm-hmm.
shows and they
Right.
stay home.
Yeah.
It's like they may have had 5,000 this award show, then the next year they went down to 2 and then they wondering
Mm-hmm.
why.
Mm-hmm.
And see,
Can I?
that would be my question.
Okay.
If you have an award show and it goes down, what is the reason why? Some of us are just ignoring it and not caring.
I think that you answered your own question, but let me give a little bit more context and understanding. So this may have been about a month and a half ago. I also do a teaching room on Clubhouse, the audio app, on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern. And this particular room, we were talking about, that specific room, we were talking about how Spotify, no, I'm sorry, no, we weren't. We were talking about iHeart is looking at merging with SiriusXM
Mhm.
and what that would mean for independent artists who are already getting squeezed out of those two platforms.
Mhm.
And lo and behold, who comes in our room? Dr. Teresa Harrison Jackson, wife of Don Jackson, who is the
Wow.
owner and CEO and chairman of the Stellar Awards, as well as Central City
Wow.
Productions. And she, who's an accomplished radio personality, media person in her own right, as many know, she was the founder of Gospel Today magazine, which was very prominent for many, many years. And now she's working with Central City Productions. As a matter of fact, she produces the Stellar Award pre-show every year now. And so, anywho, she comes in the room and she speaks to me and my co-host Micah Lee, which she knows both of us,
Oh
and
my God.
yep, Micah Lee, yep, Micah's my best friend and brother. Oh yeah, that's my guy. So
That's my boy.
yeah, Micah's dope. So we do this every week together.
Right.
Well, not every
Okay.
week. We ain't been on in a few weeks, so but when we are on, we're on. Okay.
Okay.
She comes in
Mhm.
the room and she says, because she started this coalition called the Gospel Industry Coalition, which I was one of the initial founding members of. Okay. The reason I pulled back from it was because I felt like it was not living up to what it was advertised when they first had the first meeting. I remember we were all in Atlanta. I'm sitting at the table with legendary promoter Al Wash is on my right, Pastor Tim Bowman Jr., artist, and pastor on my left. And I mean, this is the who's who of the industry. Everybody's there. Tracy Artist and oh my gosh, and Kerry Douglas and just all of the players were in the room. And so we're all there, and Don and Teresa get up and they're presenting what this coalition is. And I remember thinking at the time it was so full of promise that I was like, oh yes, the industry is gonna finally unify. We're gonna do the things. Well, that didn't happen initially. Now I think they're now starting to get their legs up under them and get it going now. But at that time, which was a few years ago or a couple of years ago, it wasn't quite there. My point in bringing it up was when she came on, she said, I want to ask y'all a question. Why do you feel like the gospel industry is not unified and there are all these different factions? I said, well, with all due respect to you, Teresa, I think people in your position and that hang in your circle often neglect and overlook the indies, and they feel like they don't have a voice with y'all's organizations, and
Wow.
you are married to Mr. Stellar Award, so now you are a
Mhm.
part of that ecosystem.
Mhm.
And she said, well, yeah, but I just think we got to unify, and they got to be ready in this. I said, I'll take your point, but here's the thing. Reverend Al Sharpton said about politics when he talked about the Democrats' problem with black voters was he said they only come around when it's election time, and then they go away. He said you got to turn people on if you want to turn them out.
Oh, I said that too. Yes.
Okay, and that's
Yes.
what I said to her. And
Yes.
so I don't feel like that message was fully received because I don't think there was a lot of more engagement with it.
Mm.
And so my point here is this is not, I respect her to the hilt. Very lovely woman. Every time I've seen her, she's been nothing but sweet to me. So I want to be clear that I'm not attacking her, but I
Right.
am going to speak truth to power no matter
Mhm.
who the person is and no matter how much I respect you, because I do still think at the end of the day, there's not enough concern for the plight of the independent artists who are the majority of the industry. They're just not visible. It's like
Right.
they're not seen. And part of my job is to be a disruptor, come into this industry and say, look, I'm gonna say the things everybody else is scared to say
Right.
because I'm not afraid if it
Right.
ruins a relationship
Mhm.
because I don't care about it like that. Because
Right.
my thing is, if me telling the truth to you ruins a friendship, that was never a friendship.
Right. Nope. Sure
That's how I
wasn't.
feel.
No.
So and so I've never had to capitulate, Alicia, to anybody. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say truth. I'm gonna speak truth to power. I'm gonna say it like it is, and you'll like it or you don't. And some people don't like it,
No.
right?
No, they don't.
That's it. So my point here
I've been
is,
in
yeah.
go.
So I'm sorry, and I'm gonna just say this. So the
Go.
point to answer your question is this: the reason why they're tuning out and not bothering to go be a part is because they feel like that organization no longer looks after them or has never looked after them or
That's
is
it.
not offering opportunities for
Mhm.
them. And I get that.
Mhm.
I get
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if we really want to talk about unity, we're going to have to start curating opportunities for the independent, especially with organizations like the Stellars, to say, hey, we heard your complaints.
Right.
We honor them. Here's what we're planning to do to address your concern. And
Yes.
until that happens, you're going to have
Mhm.
that, unfortunately.
Right. Because what we're having, some award show, I'm not going to say where I went to. I went to an award show last year, and literally, they had a workshop. The people that were on the platform were those of, let's say, big stations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The stations, like if I give you my music, it's like, look, I'm not thinking about playing you because I want to play a Kirk Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Okay. And so they were telling all these indies what they needed to do. Oh, that just did something to me, because at the end of the day, those same people that were there that was giving that information out, I have submitted good quality music, not of mine, but of artists. And every single thing that you said for them to do, they've done it. And you still didn't play it. So to me, it kind of was like, you know what? You need to get rid of that platform and get some fresh people up there to do the workshop. I'm sorry.
Well, let me say this. Yes and no, because watch this. That's their platform.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
they can platform whoever they want.
That's
And
true.
then you have the option, as a lot have done, to
Right.
opt out, right?
Right.
So
Right. Right.
Iyanla, I don't know if you
Right.
remember the show Iyanla Fix My Life,
Right.
right? Well, I love Iyanla. I was following Iyanla way before she came on Oprah Winfrey. Like I
Yeah,
was
I
a
love
student of
her.
hers back in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
She had
Yeah.
a book
Yeah.
called In the Meantime. It was gifted to me by my coworker at the time. I was 18 years old. Okay, I'm 47 now, so that's to tell you how long that was,
Right.
how long
Right.
ago that
Right.
was. So
Right.
I've been knowing Iyanla for a long time.
Really.
One of the things I love about Iyanla is that Iyanla says something like to the effect that you don't get to tell someone how to love you. You get
Right.
to decide whether you're going to participate based on what they're giving you,
I
right?
like that.
So here's what I'm saying. I want to say this because I want to help the artists too. I want to help y'all understand. You are in a system that they made. So
Mm.
you're either going to play the game they're playing or you're not. But my biggest advice to any independent artist is you need to be creating your own ecosystem, community, so much so that that demand is driving up your popularity where it cannot be ignored. So that's why I said in that respect, I agree with Tracy Morgan. in what she said on her
Right.
Facebook that day,
Right.
right? And so it's a balancing walk, Alicia. Like there's two parts, and I'm not trying to see like I'm just two-faced, but I just see
No, but I
multiple
get it.
facets. Yeah,
Right.
right.
Right. No, I get it.
So as an artist, what do I mean? You should be starting an emailing list. You should be doing direct to consumer, direct to artist, direct to fan, direct to supporter engagement with your people. Who are your people? Do you know who they are? What's the analytical data? Like, what's their demo?
That's right.
Are they this age or that age? Like, are they this male or female? What part of the country are they in? Like, start looking at your Spotify, Apple Music for artists, Spotify for artists, Amazon Unlimited for artists, and start finding out who your people are. Then you start curating conversations, content, discussion, and performances tailored to their likes and interests. You must engage them because that's the only way you're going to know if they're really your people. I use this example. When Kanye West went from doing rap and he did that gospel album, Donda, his supporters followed him. They follow anything, his true supporters and community, they follow him no matter what he's doing. If he puts on a trash bag and says it's fashion, they're going to go buy those trash bags. If he, those ugly Yeezy shoes, I do like my Yeezy slides because they off the chain. Okay, I don't want to say that. but those other shoes, I hate them. But his people love them. They're going to buy it because it's Kanye West. When he did a gospel album, they followed him over there. Kanye West's Donda album was on #1 on the top gospel albums chart on Billboard for 3.5 years straight. And the gospel people were pissed. You know why they were pissed? Kanye West. I said, what y'all fail to understand, Billboard is about numbers, analytics, and facts and stats. Y'all ain't got that. Kanye West fan base rivals anybody in gospel, including Kirk Franklin. And it ain't even close. Okay? So when you add that up, his supporters bum rushing this Donda album, which is technically considered gospel, because if 50 to 60% of the content is religious in nature, they are going to classify it as a gospel album. This is why you need to know the industry so you're not pissed off. Oh, and by the way, let me shout out to the people that watch the BET Awards every year, that watch the Grammys every year and be pissed off because you're seeing demonic images. Well, baby, you know why you saying that? Because ain't none of y'all in the room. Y'all talking about y'all going to win a Grammy, and I'm going to speak and prophesy and speak in the atmosphere. But, baby, you ain't even a part of the Academy. How you going to have a Grammy?
But look, they need to watch what they wearing up there on stage. I mean, I had to sneak that in.
No, they don't. No, they don't. You know why?
I know you're going to come up with something.
Whose platform is it?
I know you're going to say something.
Is it Alicia? Is it Queen Alicia's platform?
Yes, today it is.
No. This platform is Queen Alicia, right? So you can regulate what we wear over here. But over there, it's another rule.
It's true. It's true.
And that's what I'm saying, y'all. It's a man-made system. Why y'all mad because you see scantily clad women running all around and men that got devil's horns on, and then they using a choir in the background with a rose piano and an organ, but they talking about licking something and doing this. And so we got to understand the rudiments of the game so that we can then do that. Remember when this was last year or the year before? You remember? I know you probably remember this. Who was it? Somebody won the Bobby Jones Gospel Award. Glorilla did. Remember this?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
You remember that? And gospel was like, everybody was like, there were think pieces, and there were TikTok reels, and there was this, and the Satan has taken over, and oh my God, the sky is falling. And I said, how many of you, everybody that I saw do that, I said, how many of you are on the BET Academy that governs the award show? No one.
None of them.
None. There was not one single person from the gospel side of the industry over there doing it. So who do they pick? They saw Glorilla. We know her. Glorilla did a gospel album because watch this. Glorilla was on the gospel track with Kirk Franklin. They know Kirk Franklin and they know Glorilla. So who they gonna vote for?
Glorilla.
They don't know Kiara Sheard. Right. They don't know Donald Lawrence. They don't know. They just know certain people. And so that's who they voted for. And so I said, it doesn't surprise me that Glorilla won that award. Look at the peers who are making that voting determination. And then this won't. So I don't get pissed off and stuff like that. Like at the end of the day, I'm like, look, even when I see the gatekeeping that I don't like, here's the thing. My whole thing is, okay, use that as fuel to drive the platforms that you have created and curated. And your job, Derrick, is to continue to build value with your organizations so
Mhm.
that they are viable in mainstream communities. And then once I'm at a
Mhm.
place at the table, now I can introduce what I want to
Oh
see
yeah. Oh yeah.
in the community. That's
Yeah,
how it
and then
goes.
they don't have a then they won't have a choice.
Correct. That's right. So that's it.
You gave us a lot in that time, but I'm still
Yeah.
having you back though.
All right. I'll come back.
Yes. Thank you so much, you
My
guys. I'm
pleasure.
sorry. I was looking at what you guys were saying. They were just so into you. So whenever
Oh,
you
that's
have
what's up. That's
time,
dope.
you know, just go see what they have to say. Please follow my brother. Please follow him. Because again, everybody that comes on his platform, follow his organization, the awards show, right? The Avidity Awards show. And you could put that too at the bottom.
Okay.
How can they how can they stay connected with you?
Yeah,
Instagram,
me
Facebook.
personally, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Threads, Facebook, and TikTok. Okay, all one username at the number one, and then Derrick Huggins, my name, DerrickHuggins. So one Derrick Huggins on everything: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. I'm always posting what I'm doing on there, always. So you're gonna always be able to catch up what I got going on. If you want to follow the award show, our handle is at Avidity, which is Avidity Gospel Awards. Okay, on all platforms. So you can follow us there and find out what the show is, what we got coming up. We got some great stuff cooking up for our masterclass this year. I'm so excited. We have a representative from Pandora that's going to be there.
Oh
We have
wow.
Ace of Ward, who's produced everybody from Kim Burrell to Dorinda Clark Cole and Margaret Brown Clark and so many other. He's going to be on there. Morgan Turner, who's long term MD for Pastor John P. Key, Jason Nelson, and
Mhm.
so many others. He's our music director for my award show.
Oh
So
wow.
he's my MD, but he's also going to be on our master class. Tracy Bethea from iHeart will be there. We have, oh my gosh, Willie Mae McIver from Beyond the Praise, 41 plus year radio vet. We got some top notch people. Terrence Howell from Revival Music Company, who's worked with everybody from Dante Bowe, Bethel Music, Maverick City Music. I've got some good people who know the industry, who know the business. My boy Michael Lee will also be a panelist this year, and I will
Yay.
be a panelist. So y'all come on out. November 6th through the 8th, we're going to be in Dallas, Texas for the 11th Annual Avidity Awards weekend, and I want y'all to go check us out.
And you know what I like? You have it all the way in November because that's good because
Yeah,
it's too much going on in the summer.
I agree. I agree.
It's too
Yeah,
much, too
too
much.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. So that might be a plus for me. I got a lot of things going on. I'm trying to move and stuff. So, but never know. Yeah, Julius, the Bishop of Music, Julius Carson told me
Yeah.
about your
Oh, awesome. Okay.
a
Okay. I
long
know
time
him.
ago. He
Yeah.
was like,
Shout out to him.
Alicia. And I said, okay, I should go there. He said, yeah, you should go and meet
Yeah.
him.
Well, I appreciate him. Shout out to him. He's
Yeah.
always been a supporter. I
He
appreciate that.
probably knew how I'm always like talking about the independence. So he probably
Mhm.
could sniff that out, like, yeah, go, yeah, okay. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on to the
Yeah.
platform. Thank
Thanks for having me.
you. Yes. All right. And we're gonna have you back. No
Please
problem.
do.
All right. Have a
All right.
great night.
God bless.
God bless you. All right, guys. That was Derrick Huggins. Look at that. Look at that. Tell me that wasn't good. I'm sorry. I love y'all over there in La La Land. He had to get back to he had business to take care of. He has an award show going on, and some of us that have award shows, they work like a long period of time. So some of us do not just start when the award show is about to start, but it is what it is. But gosh, that was a lot of knowledge. Who's in the room? Who's in the room? Let me know if you're in the room. Thank you so much for just being here. I'm like overjoyed and just that was a good one. That was a good one. So tonight I thank you for coming in and stopping in. And I know we're getting off early tonight. Right. So we're gonna have some more artist interviews that's coming up. And we're going to have some more radio station hosts that's coming up. And we're going to have, we are going to have one, I think another, I'm trying to get another award show to come up and owner, and we're just going to be chopping it up. That's it. Again, y'all can admit this is a lot of knowledge. Please follow everybody that I bring onto the platform. This is half the time. Hey, Helen Freeman. Please follow Helen. Everybody go back and follow all these people. Go check out their pages. That's what you can do. Go check out their pages and see who they are. Right, because you have artists in here and you have radio station hosts that are in here, that were in here if they're not in here now. So just go check them out, because who knows, they might play your music. All right, and be professional when you talk to them. So tonight, if you did not catch the entire broadcast, go back and listen to the entire broadcast. That was a lot. That was a lot in so little time. Yeah. And so we want to thank him again, Derrick Huggins, for coming in and talking to us. And we're going to have him back to chop it up another time too. All right, because we're gonna keep him longer that time. All right. So that's it. You guys have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right. Well, once again, I would like to thank Derrick Huggins for coming in from the Avidity Gospel Music Awards. We thank him so much for accepting the invitation to come on to this platform. And again, we say to all of the hosts that have came on, if there's anything that you need us for, just let me know. That's it. Thank you so much, guys, for chopping up with Queen Alicia. Those of you who have also been here with me since day one of the voice behind the mic, you got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do, right? Because I'm an artist too. So we got to stay out there in everybody's face. All right. We don't have no time to be slacking. There's a lot of work that we have to do. And knowledge is golden. You know what I'm saying? So if he's saying that he gives out knowledge, then guess what? You got to follow him. So then you will be aware of what he's doing on his platform. You got to keep it going. I mean, there's nothing else that I could tell you. Being an artist is a lot of work, but you got to keep pushing. That's it. I've been singing since I was 5. So you gotta keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. If you were called into the ministry. Yeah. All right, y'all. Gotta go. I love y'all. Have a great night. All right. Have a great night. And once again, remember, if no one has told you that they loved you today, because today probably was a hard day for you, and if not, that's good. If they haven't told you that they loved you, always remember, Queen Alicia loves you. Right? All right. Talk to you when I talk to you. Thank you once again for chopping up with me.
Chopping it up with Queen Alicia, where every word is clear and true. From deep talks and open dialogue, join the conversation. Explore real relationships and pass the growth.
Chop it up with Alicia, the queen. This is the podcast you know you're gonna need, hun. Chop it up with Alicia J today. She's dropping them nuggets, the stuff you really wanna say on relationships, the situationships, married or single, and even if you wanna mingle. Chop it up with Alicia, the queen. Today, yeah.
Discuss hot topics and let your knowledge flow.
The queen. Let's chop it up.
Entertainment and yes and no mix. Every conversation is a clear connected mix.
Let's chop it up.